All right, here we go. Now let's knock this factoring. All right, now, again, medium problems are when the leading coefficient is prime. Hard problems are when the leading coefficient is not prime. All right, those are a little bit harder. There's just more options. Now, again, most kids don't like factoring because there isn't an algorithm to solve the problem. You just don't memorize steps. All right, you are undoing the multiplication. You're undoing the multiplication. Now, as I go down the page, you're supposed to listen and you're supposed to be getting better as we go down. All right, I don't have time to play. All right, I want to get through as many of these. The more we get done in class, the less you have homework. All right, so again, we're going to go down, pay attention to the things I'm saying. All right, you can kind of copy it first if you want. All right, but I will be talking about the little smiley faces that will help you. All right, if you don't listen and you try to think, well, I'm just going to do it my way, you will see it's not going to work. All right, it's not going to work. All right, so with that being said, all right, I'm going back to number one. We're working down the page. All right, now eventually you'll just be able to look at that and say, I just know that's 2x plus 1 times x plus 1. All right, but you can't see that yet. All right, eventually you will. Now, today, all you do is you start out making two sets of parentheses. What's the only way I can make 2x squared? 2x and what? So I'm making 2x squared with 2x and 2x.
1x squared.
Wow, it's going to be a long worksheet. I'm just telling you.
1x squared, 1x squared.
Not even close. 2x and x. All right, because 2x, listen, you can distract all you want, interrupt all you want. That just means you have more problems. All right, as simple as that. All right, those of you guys who think it's all funny and fun and games. All right. Now, what are the only factors of 1? 1. So I throw down a 1 and throw down a 1. Notice I didn't put any signs yet. Then I do the smiley faces. How much is that? How much is that? Together, that makes what? 3x. Good. You're already behind. That's real smart. And they're both positive. All right. Why do I know they're both positive? All right. Because the 3x, the positive 3x, is made from positive 1 and positive 2. It's just so annoying. Go sit down. It's, and yeah, hilarious. Real hilarious, boys. When are you going to grow up just a little bit? Just a little. You're the one that's going to have all the homework, not me. And thank Brennan for being so funny in class. All right, again, we're starting with what? 2 sets of parentheses. What's the only way to make 3x squared now? All right, so now we're in business. All right, now I'm going to do it the wrong way so I can show you why it's annoying. Always start with the middle factors. What are the middle factors of 4? 2 and 2. Very good. So I'm going to throw down a 2 and I'm going to throw down a 2. Now, how much is this right here? And this is, can I make 1x with 6 and 2? Nope. So I cannot use 2 and 2. So then what else would I use? 1 and 4. I'm still going to do it wrong just because I could show you how annoying it can be. I'm going to throw down a 4 and throw down a 1. How much is that? 12. How much is that? Can 12 and 1 make 1? No. So now I know if it's factorable, the 4 will have to go over here and the 1 will have to go over here. So what is this now? And what is this? And I need to make a -1. So the 4 will be what? Negative, and the 1 will be positive. That's all there is to it. All right. Now it's annoying. All right. But listen to what I'm telling you. Please start with the middle factors. That's your best chance of getting it correct. All right. Now, here, what are the only factors of 7x squared? Right. So we're doing better already. Now, what are the only factors of 2? So I'm going to put it in the wrong spot. Eventually, you'll be able to see, like I can see the wrong spots because you'll be measuring from here to here is what?
Why would you put it in
Just stop talking. All right. From 7 to 2 is what? 14. Is it possible to make with 2 and 1? Is it possible to make 9 with 14 and 1? No. So this 2 can't go there. So now I erase. I put the 2 over here and I put the 1 over here. Now I collect my little smiley face and now I have 7x and what? And that makes, if they're both, that's it. All right. You will be getting better as we go down the page. All right. Just don't interrupt me. You got it? All right. Now let's look at number 10. This one's harder. The reason it's harder is because I can make 6x and 1x, or I can make 3x and 2x. So it can be super annoying. All right. What did I tell you? Start with the what? Middle factors. Start with the middle factors. So we're going to start with what? 3x and 2x. Does it matter where I put the 3x and the 2x? No. Now, what are the middle factors of 10? So I'm just going to throw down a 5 and I'm going to throw down a 2. I have no idea if that's right. That's why we use our smiley faces. How much? 4 and can that make 7? Can 4 and 15 make 7? Nope. So now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to erase. And I'm going to put a 5 here and a 2 here. 10 and how much? Can 10 and 6 work? No. So try again. Now, what are the other factors of 10? 10 and 1. So I'm going to throw a 10 over here and a 1 over here. 30 and 2. Does that work? No. So now put the 10 over here and the 1 over here. And I have what? Does that work? No. So instead of 3 and 2, it's got to be what? It's got to be 6 and 1. So I erase, put the 6x and x. And again, the middle factors of 10 were what? 5 and 2. So let's put 2 here and 5 here. How much is this? How much is this? Does 12 and 5 make 7? Yep. If the 12 is, I want it to be -7. So I want the 12 to be negative. Now, those of you guys who are good with numbers, this is much easier. Those of you guys who still are saying, what's 8 times 9? You're in a little bit of trouble. All right. This is really helpful. And again, I cannot stress the importance of this. All right. I need everyone to listen. 6 times 2 is what? 12. 5 times x is 5x. I need it to be -7. So the 12, this guy right here, the negative would have to be here. It's not because it's bigger, it goes with the 5. All right. And then this would have to be what? Now, how do I know I'm right? Because I can check my answer real quick. What's 6x times x? 6x squared. What's +5 times -2? -10. And we just did the middle term. All right. So here we go. Now this one's back to easy because there's few factors. So here we go. 2 sets of parentheses. What am I looking at? 5x and x. Now 3 and 1. Eventually, your brain will look and say, okay, if I put a 3 there, that's going to make 15, which makes it too big. Is everybody with me? So instead of the 3 going there, those of you guys who are thinking can put the 3 there and be done quicker. So then I'm going to throw the 1 over here, and this gives me how much? And how much is this? And I really am kind of expecting, if I promise you, if you put the little smiley faces in, as you go down the page, it will get easier. Your brain will start to look at the outside numbers and the inside numbers multiplied together. All right. Next year, you'll hear the teachers talk about FOIL. I don't teach FOIL. I want you to learn to see the numbers better. All right. So I want it to be a +2x. That means the 5 has to be what? Positive. Notice the 5 is here. and the 3x is here. And there you have it. All right. Next one should be what? Go ahead, quick.
How do you know if like there's two factors?
You don't. It's called kind of guessing and checking our way through it. That's why kids hate it, because you just want an algorithm to solve it. You hear what I'm saying? And sometimes it's a puzzle. You got to figure out what multiplies together and what adds together. That's why it's so annoying. All right, but you will get better. And I promise you, you'll be a better math student if you can do this worksheet. Much better. All right, so here we go. Now, the only way to get 3x squared is what? 3x and x. You might as well try. Now, if you look at that, should I put the 5 on the right or the 5 on the left? Left, because if you put it on the right, that'll make 15 and make it too big. Some of you already are getting the hang of it. Again, if I put the 5 over here, that'll make 15, which is too big. So I put the 5 here and I put the 1 over here. And now I'm looking at what? 5x and 3x. So they both need to be what? Positive in order to make 8x plus plus. All right, now remember, as we're going, you're supposed to be getting a little better. I just want to guide you today. I just want to guide you today. All right, here we go. Come on, everybody's got to stay focused. What? Yes. 5x and x. So where do you want to put the 4? On the right, because she's seeing 4 times 5 is what? And 2 times 1 is, and I'm trying to get a, so they're both negative. I cannot emphasize that is exactly the way your brain should be seeing it. Exactly.
You're supposed to equal 22.
Yes.
2 and 4 is 6.
You're not watching. I see you over here messing with this bottle, daydreaming. Look up there on the board and show me, tell me quickly. Come on, you're too smart. How much is that?
2x.
How much is this?
20x. Okay, yeah.
See, you don't realize it's harder than yesterday because there's an outer number that's going to multiply with the other factor that changes up the numbers. That's what you have to learn. And some of you guys who are daydreaming and some of you guys who are just writing down my answers, the next test is a nightmare. You've got to do it yourself. You have to do it yourself. If you don't do it yourself, your brain will never make the connection. All right. And it's important in every single math class. All right. And once you get the hang of it, it's just simple. All right, here we go. This one's easy. What's the only way to make 3x squared? 3x and x. Factors of 8. So I'm going to throw a 4 where? On the left and the 2 on the right. I'm also liking that. This is 4x and this is how much? 6x. So I want it to be negative. Is everybody with me? So I want the 6 to be negative and the 4 to be what? Here's the positive 4. It's not which factor is bigger. It's what two things multiplied together, which is bigger. So then the other one is what? -2. Come on, get a little better. Nope. Get a little better as we go down the page. Get a little better as we go down the page. All right, here we go. Now, didn't I say, listen, I'm trying to help you. Didn't I say start with the middle factors? But because we're smart, we can look up there and say, I'm trying to get to what? 11, right? 4 times 3 is what? Which is pretty close. So instead of using 2 and 2, because I thought a little bit before I just threw down, I said, okay, I'm trying to make 11 and I see a 4 and a 3, that's 12. So I'm pretty close. So instead of doing 2 and 2, I'm going to do what? That won't always work, but that's just my thought process. So I throw down 2 sets of parentheses, and instead of doing 2 and 2, I did what? 4x and x. Now your brain should say, well, obviously the 3 is going where? On the right side, and the 1 should go on the, and we can double check, say this is how much? And this is 1. I need -11. So negative is which one? The one on the right or the left? Some of you don't know the right and left, so we come to that conclusion. All right, so here we go. So now if you want to double check, remember that's negative 12x, that's positive 1x, that makes negative 11x. 4x times x is 4x squared, positive 3 times, or positive 1 times negative 3 is that negative 3. How are we doing on that? All right, everybody's good? All right, again, the next one's considered medium. All right. All right, let's give it a shot. Go. Let me hear you. Hurry up. Let's go.
Okay. So 7x and x.
Right.
And then here I tried 5 and 2.
So where does the 5 go?
I tried putting the 5 on the left side.
Well, if you put it over here, it's kind of bad because that gives me what?
35.
Which is too big, right?
Mhm.
So now we just throw the 5 over here, and then where's the 2 go?
On the other side, 14. And then plus 5 is 19.
So they're both what?
They're both positive.
Easy, easy, easy. All right. Here we go. This one is a little bit harder because there's 2 possibilities. You have to be real careful on this one. All right, so I'm going to do it wrong first. All right, just to show you it can be tricky if you're not careful. All right, so here we go. 2 sets of parentheses. I want 2x and x. I want 3 and 1. How much is this? How much is this? I can make 5x if they're both what? So it looks like you're correct. Is that correct though? No, because why? Yes, this 3 is negative. That's why I'm telling you, if you just check your work, you'll get it. All right, so that's not correct, even though the middle term is correct. All the terms have to be correct. What? That is exactly correct, right? It's really simple, especially if you know your multiplication facts and you can add. You just have to be patient. That's the problem. You're not going to see it the first thing. Wait till we get to the end. All right. So he is correct. This is going to be a +3 and a -1. Now, why does that work? Because that's 6 minus 1, which is 5. -1 times 3 is that -3, and 2x times x is that 2x squared. All right, let's knock out the next one. All right, the only way to make 2x squared is 2x and x, and 21 is 7 and 3. Probably where does the 7 go? Visualize, if I put it over here, that's going to make what? Which is going to be too big. That's what I'm trying to show you. This is how my brain's working. So I need to put the 7 over here and the what? And the what? 3 over here. How much is this now? And how much is this?
7x minus 6x.
Right. So I want the 7 to be what? Negative, and the 3 to be real simple. Real simple. Now, this one's annoying. Yeah, because it can be 6x and 1x or 3x and 2x, but because you paid attention, you know we're going to try what first? 3x and 2x. Now, those of you guys are really paying attention. Now, listen to me. I'm going to cut your time in half if you listen to what I'm telling you. What are the factors of 15? No common factor will go in the same parentheses. So let's see if you understood what I just said. The factors are 3 and 5. Where does the 3 have to go? With the 2. I cannot put it here because they would share a common factor. Common factors cannot go together. So if you know that, you've cut your time in half. So I'm going to put the 3 over here and the what? 5 over here, and let's see what's going on. How much is this? How much is this? I want -19. Both negative. It's not bad, not bad. All right, it's annoying. I understand. All right, so here we go. What's the only way to make 2x squared? 2x and x, factors of 12. But I want the middle ones. What am I going to choose? 3 and 4. We're going to try 3 and 4. Where does 4 have to go? Where does 4 have to go? On the right. 3 goes on the what? Okay, now look, the reason why I dismissed 6 and 2, and I didn't even think about it. Why can I dismiss 6 and 2 so quickly? No, we don't know that yet. Why can I dismiss 6 and 2? Tell me. Well, why can't they both be even? No. Because that 2 is there. Right? If I put 6 over here, and listen to what I'm showing you. If I put 6 over here, I have to put 2 over here, right?
Yep.
That shares a common factor, so it can't work. So then I say, okay, well, that didn't work. So I'm going to put a 6 over here and a 2 over, but what? They share a common factor, so it's never going to work. Never going to work. And I'll tell you in next week probably why that will never work. All right. But right now it doesn't matter. Okay. So right now, get rid of 6 and 2, put 3 and 4, and we know 4 has to go where? And 3 has to go on the, so now how much is this? 8 and 3 makes -5. 8 and 3 makes -5 if the 8 is what? And the 3 is +3, -8. Now, some people say, I don't see a -8. That can't be right. It is, because what? You're multiplying by what? 2. All right, you're multiplying by 2. All right, here we go. The fun continues. 43. Oh, this one's just super easy because the leading coefficient is a what? A 1. The leading coefficient is a 1. So now most people just don't know the factors of 15 that make 17, but everyone in here did this yesterday, so we all know that it is 4 and what? 4 and 13. 4 times 13 is in fact 52. And we want it to be -17, so both are what? Both are negative because the middle term is negative. Now, again, I'm going to slow down just a little bit because I feel like you've gotten your feet wet here a little bit. And now you can ask me a question if you're still struggling a little bit. But personally, it's just, can you multiply and add? I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but if you can't multiply very well and you can't add very well, this is impossible. I agree with you. And there's nothing you can do except pull out your flashcards and start flashing. All right. Yep. All right, here we go. Now, because you're paying attention, this one's hard because the more factors, the harder the problem. So 12 is annoying because you can do 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4. But because you paid attention, I told you to start with what? 3 and 4. So I'm automatically going to put down 3x and 4x. And now this one isn't so hard because you just have to figure out where the 5 goes. So now visualize, if I put 5 on the right, that'll make what? 15. And so if I throw 1 over here, that makes what? There you go. So they're both what? They're both positive. They're both positive. All right, here we go. 15. What am I going to start with? That's right. 5x and 3x. Middle factors of 6. Where does the 3 have to go? 3 has to go on the left. Has to go on the left because 3 is a factor of 3. Can't have same factors. So I put 3 here, and where do I put the 1? And so now, let's see if I got it right. How much is this? How much is this? Does that work? No. So now instead of, I meant to put 3 and what?
2.
Yes, thank you for catching that. 3 and 2. Now does it work? Yes. All right. And that obviously is a good point. If you make a mistake, you're going to think it can't factor when actually it what? It can factor. All right. That's why it's better to be careful. All right. It's better to be careful. So now we know these are both what? Negative. All right. Middle factors for 22. 11x and 2x. Middle factors for 10. 2 and 5. Where does the 2 have to go? On the left, and 5 has to go on the right. Now it's really simple if you're paying attention. Does that work out? How much is that? And how much is that?
No, the 2 has to be negative.
-2 plus 5. But I really wanted you to tell me that's -4 or that's 4 and that's 55. 4 and 55 can make 51. All right, if you paid attention, you can see what I'm saying. All right, here we go, 55. Now, I want to try to help. See how this is a bigger number? That means the factors themselves have to be what? So now you're looking carefully at the factors of 8 and factors of 8. How am I going to make the factors of 8 close to 65? 8 and 8, exactly, exactly, right? 8 times 8 is what? 64. So here we go. I've got parentheses. This is the type of thing that's going to really help you. You saw this was bigger, so the numbers, the factors themselves have to be bigger. So if I put 8x and x, where does 8 have to go? On the right side and 1 over here. Now, why does that work? How much is that?
64.
64 and what? 64 and 1. So they're both positive. Is everybody happy with that? All right, let's continue. Oh, 18. Why is this annoying? 1 and 18, 2 and 9, 6 and 3. Super annoying. All right. So this number a little bigger. All right. What?
Can you explain like what number would you choose if you, because there's two options.
Listen to me. I can't tell you that. You have to, it's honestly guessing and checking. That's what I'm doing. So I'll show you what I mean by here, by this on this problem. I start with the middle factors. The middle factors of 18 are 3x and 6x. You with me? Now, can I choose 2 and 2? No, because 2 would have to go there. You can't have common factors. So 2 and 2 will not work with 6 and 3. Right? Do you understand that? So now the other option is 4 and 1. Where does the 4 have to go? On the left. And 1 has to go on the right. Now, how much is this? And how much is this? How do I make 27? Both negative. You see what I'm saying, Avery? I can't help you with that, right? You just have to guess and check and put the numbers around, move them around. Eventually you'll get it. And those of you guys who are good with numbers, this is what? Piece of cake. Those of you guys who struggle with your multiplication addition facts, this is a nightmare. All right. And it's really helpful. Honestly, it's really helpful. It's good for you to visualize math, not just spit out information. All right. That's why most people don't like this, because it's thinking. All right. It's not just one way to do it. All right, here we go. This one, why is this one super annoying? 36, 1 and 36, 2 and 18, 3 and 12, 4 and 9, 6 and 6. A lot of possibilities. All right. But it's not so hard. Let's hear what I'm saying. The only factors of 2x squared are what? 2x and x. Now, can I choose 6 and 6? No, because 6 will have to go with the 2. So now I want 9 and 4. Where does the 4 have to go? And where does the 9 have to go? There we go. Let's see if that works. How much? How much is this? And how much is this? And I want it to be negative. -9 plus 4. And honestly, if you get good at this, your next level of math is a little bit easier. 64, here we go. All right, now what's the middle term here? 0, correct. So we're still doing here, 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 here. What times what's x squared? Factors of 9. 3 and 3. And what do I want them to add up to? No? No, 0. Thank you. I want them to be 0. So it has to be +3 and -3. Now, someone asked me, does it matter where I put the plus and the minus? No, as long as there's a plus and a minus there. This 3 and this -3 make 0. Simple as that. This is called the difference of squares. It's called the difference of squares because subtraction means difference, and x squared and 9 are called perfect squares. All right, here we go. This one should be relatively easy. Here we go. What do we got? The only way to make x squared, x and x, factors of 144, 12 and 12, and 12 plus 12 is what? 24. So we know they're both -12, -12. So generally, if you are paying attention, you just write x minus 12 squared. Do you have to write x minus 12 squared? No. All right, this one looks really hard, but in fact, pretty easy. What are the middle factors for 25x squared? 5x and 5x. Factors of 64, the best one. The middle ones, the middle one. 8 and 8. So I'm going to throw that in. Now, 64 can be annoying, right? Think about how many factors that has. But we're safe because that's how much. And that how much is? 40 and 40 make, if they're both positive. That is correct. 73. I like it. What are we thinking? 5x and 5x. And who knows what times what's 121? 11 and 11. Now, again, if the middle term is 0, the factors have to be exactly the same. And one's plus, one's minus. Look what happens when you listen, right? It's amazing. If you'd have done this in 5th grade, think where you'd be. All right. Instead of being funny. All right. All right, here we go. Now I'm looking at this right off the bat and saying, what can I do with 7x squared? 7x and x. Now my brain is going, wow, I see a 7 and 8, and that makes what? That makes 15. So it's probably, instead of trying 2 and 4, I might as well try what? 8 and 1, right? So if I throw an 8 where? Left, and 1 on the, I have how much here? How much here? So they're both negative. Not 1 and 1. What are you talking about? I didn't say 1 and 1. Okay. What do you think I said? Shh.
You said that the same.
Factors, right? 1 is unique. All right. 1 really doesn't have any other possibilities. You with me? Yeah. All right. If you'll notice, 1 couldn't go with anything then. That's why it's the exception. All right, here we go. Oh, this one looks hard, but it's easy. Help me. 7x and 7x, factors of 36. Let's try 6 and 6. And how happy are we? How much is that? How much is that? And that makes both negative, right? And we can write that as 7x minus 6 what? Squared. Is that it? That's soft. We should have done another 100.
We have another 100.
All right, here we go. So the best thing I want, stop whining like little babies. All right. So here's what I got for you. I'll make you a deal right now. What time's the bell ring? I forget. 41. So we only got a couple minutes. And again, I appreciate the way some of you guys did a good job and listened. All right. And I'm just telling you, for some of you guys who are a little slower, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean that it takes a little bit longer time. So this might take 2 or 3 hours for some of you. All right. I don't want it to take 2 or 3 hours. All right. I promise you, as you work down, it becomes easier. Now, look how much fun I had at the end of this. Look at, for example, number 81 and 80. Why is that hard? Because there's a lot of factors of 42 and there's a lot of factors of what? 40 and 12 and 72. That one's a nightmare. It could be. All right. And it just requires you to do a little bit more thinking. All right. And observation is important as well. All right. So with that being said, what we will do is I will give you the middle column to do. Shh, shh. You did all the ones in the middle already? Let me see.
They're all wrong.
No, they're not.
No, he's good with numbers. He just doesn't listen very good.
I didn't do.
Shh, no
I
one's
didn't
talking
do
to you.
20.
Shh, just go sit down. Leave me alone.
I'm trying to informalize you.
Yeah.
Rob does one in the middle.
Okay, we'll talk about it. But here, listen, middle column is all you're responsible for. All right, the middle, go down the page. Middle column.
I have to on a.
Did you look at all my questions?